Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel. Today is my birthday. This is totally coincidence. I post on Wednesdays and my birthday is on a Wednesday this year, and I thought, what better video to make for my birthday than how to have an eco birthday. Now this is for any age. This is for like throwing your toddler a birthday party, throwing yourself a birthday party, or just throwing a party in general, a dinner party, a get together, a holiday party, whatever it may be, because my birthday is around Thanksgiving as well. But first, if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I talk about all sorts of things zero waste, focusing on free, easy, and fun ways to live low waste and practical ways to be an activist. First, let's talk about party planning. First is to have a joint party. Now, I didn't love this so much as a kid. I think it would be fine to do now. My brother and I have birthdays 6 days apart, so very often we would have joint parties, just because then my mom only had to clean once. She only had to buy balloons once. You can share a pizza, you can share a cake. There's so many benefits to saving money and saving waste by doing a joint party. But like I said, I didn't really enjoy it so much as a kid, because like as a kid, everybody wants to be the center of attention. But if you're throwing a party for a couple of your friends that have birthdays at the same time, just do a joint party. Because our birthdays are both potentially the week of Thanksgiving. Sometimes Thanksgiving was on his birthday, sometimes it was on mine. We would just have like a birthday / Thanksgiving, which was honestly the best, because then like everybody's there, everybody's wishing me happy birthday, and I get to eat a Thanksgiving feast for my birthday. Say less. Next is invites. If you want to send out invites, consider digital invites. You can make something really nice on Canva, which is a free graphic design app, and you can just email it or Facebook message it or text it to your friends and family that you want to come. This saves you so much money. Canva is free, texting is free, and of course saves so much waste. I don't know about you, but like I save Christmas cards because like they're cute mementos from like my nieces and stuff. I'm not saving a birthday invite. I'm gonna throw it away. We'll recycle it. It's just one more thing that's gonna end up in the landfill or the recycle bin, so why bother paying that money for someone just to throw it away? If you don't have any birthday decorations, buy nice stuff up front and then just use it year after year after year. Especially if you have multiple kids, this can save you so much money and you can get so much bang for your buck. You buy like a nice birthday sign for like $10 and you have 4 kids, 4 times 18. I should have picked an easier number. That's 72 uses out of your birthday banner. Of course, and that's also for like if you have parents, you can use it for friends, you can let people borrow it. Like you can get so many uses out of really nice decor over a lifetime. Instead of just buying cheap, cheesy, trendy, plasticky stuff every single year, which will add up, just buy nice stuff once and use it over and over again. You can also use the crappy stuff over and over again. My mom she probably still has it, and I'm gonna make her get it out for my birthday since I'll be home for my birthday this year. She has this very cheap paper happy birthday sign. It is so 90s. Like she's literally had it since my older sister was a kid, and she's 8 years older than me. Still uses it. It probably cost $2. But honestly, it's so much fun because it's a tradition, right? Like I still want to use it as an adult because it's a tradition and it's so much fun and it's so cheesy. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy either. You can reuse the crappy stuff and just make it like a running joke, but it's still special. But other stuff too, tablecloths, dinnerware, party hats, etc. Now what you don't have, you can borrow and rent. If you need more chairs to accommodate your guests, you don't have any party signs, you don't have any decorations, you can ask friends, family, and neighbor to borrow, or you can go to like a local rec center. Where else can you get chairs? Maybe like a church, a local church, see if you can borrow or rent from like something like that. That way you don't have to go out and like buy 20 brand new chairs and 2 brand new tables that you're only gonna pull out to use at a storage once or twice a year. Plus the less that we all buy new and just share communally, the better for the planet, the less stuff that has to be created, and of course it's just a great way to build community and spend time with your friends. Moving on to decorations. Avoid plastic decorations, particularly those that are single use. If you buy like a plastic cake topper that you can reuse over and over again, that's different. What I'm talking about is streamers, balloons, confetti, plastic signs. They've got to go. Good news, you can find alternatives for a lot of these in the form of paper, which is cool, which can easily be composted or recycled or reused. Even if you buy stuff in plastic, try to reuse it. But please, if you can, ditch the plastic. It is pollutive to create, it is pollutive to dispose of, and usually with these like thin, crappy, small pieces of plastic, they can't be recycled anyway. Reuse decor over and over again, whether it's nice or crappy. I already told you this story, but it can just lead to nostalgia, a lot of fun times, and traditions by reusing stuff. And that goes for every holiday, right? Reuse your Christmas ornaments, reuse your Christmas tree, reuse your Halloween decorations, your Valentine's decorations, reuse them all. Next is to support local for everything. If you are in the market for new decor, for local artists, but also stuff like your local florist, your local baker, your local deli, your local artist, your local photographers, whatever sort of business you need, try reaching out into your community instead of, getting onto Amazon or heading to Target. Now this isn't perfect. Of course, like small businesses still create waste, but by nature, they're so much better for the environment than big wasteful giants like Walmart and Amazon. But it's also emissions by supporting someone in your local community versus buying online and who knows where it's shipping from. And supporting your neighbor is always so much better, like for the environment, but also just like in your heart, right? And supporting a billionaire. You can also thrift decor if you need something but you don't want to buy it brand new. Look secondhand. I see party decor all the time at thrift stores. Happy birthday signs, streamers, particularly I see streamers a lot, packs of balloons, and other stuff that you can use, and we're going to talk about this later too, other stuff that you can use for like party decor, but then you can also just use in your house. I used to have this little sign that I used in my house to say like silly things like 365 days till we move off of Kadena, but who's counting? That's a great thing to use for parties too, like welcome to Emma's birthday party or whatever. You can learn more about why shopping secondhand is so much better for the planet in this video. But don't just look for like traditional party decorations. You can also look for party favors secondhand, props, other stuff to give your party life instead of just going to the Dollar General or the party section of a Walmart and getting wasteful stuff. Ditch helium this year and forever. And if you're like, what does this have to do with being eco-friendly? Helium is a non-renewable resource and we're running out of it pretty quickly. So it's not like inherently bad for the environment, but we need to conserve all of our resources, particularly helium. This is something I learned on TikTok. It's used in a lot of medical equipment, and because it's non-renewable and we're just filling balloons with it, we're literally wasting our helium that we could be using for medical equipment. So what you can do is just blow balloons up with your mouth and like tie them to stuff, and if you want them to kind of sit upright, what you can do is like tie or tape them to a dowel and then put the dowel like in the ground or in a pot, and that way it still looks like a group of balloons that's floating. If you're trying to plan like a themed birthday party, this is something else I see on TikTok all the time and it's so much fun. Encourage your guests to thrift their party outfit. Some themes I've seen on TikTok, like dressing up as the birthday person, dressing up as your zodiac sign, dressing up as a famous Joe or something. Get creative with your theme and then also encourage your guests to thrift stuff or use stuff from their own closet instead of, again, heading to fast fashion and buying stuff brand new. As already hinted at, repurpose your home decor for party decor. If you have cute signs, cute baskets, cute chairs, use what you already have instead of buying brand new. Gosh, this goes with anything in your life, but particularly with parties. And then you don't have to throw anything away or try to recycle something or try to sell something. You can just put it right back where you found it in your home. When choosing candles, try to choose something natural like soy wax or beeswax. Most wax is paraffin wax, which is made out of oil, which is not only bad for the environment, but it can be bad for you to burn those as well. Let's move on to activities and the venue. If you're looking for something like a bounce house, a snow cone machine, or something along those lines, rent or borrow instead of buying brand new. Now, I'm not sure who's out here buying their own bouncy house. I think the norm is to rent stuff like that, but even stuff like cotton candy machines, I know a lot of people buy those individually. Popcorn machines, just rent one or borrow one instead. Again, check local outdoor rec centers, check churches, maybe even schools. But again, renting just means that fewer and fewer of these items need to be created. Instead of making, for a town of 100 people, instead of making 100 popcorn machines, we can make one popcorn machine and everybody can share it throughout the year. This also means that this item won't just get used once and then get put on a shelf to collect dust. It will be used over and over and over again throughout the year, throughout the community. If you're throwing a party for kids, choose a lower waste activity instead of doing stuff like, I don't know, a water balloon fight. Or I can't think of anything wasteful off the top of my head. Some things that I did as a kid that I thought were really, really fun. Of course, classic sleepovers when all you really have to do is like provide food for the kids. We also did a trampoline park once. That was so much fun. And the only waste was the little socks, which can be reused. Other ideas are museums, just going to the city park, a national park, the water park if it's a summer birthday. You can go to arcades, theme parks like roller coasters, ice skating rinks. I've done that before for my birthday, roller skating. There are so many ideas that involve literally zero waste and can be so much fun. And like I said, I remember these birthdays still from when I was a kid, so like they will be memorable. Make sure after your party you remember to clean up your mess and don't litter. Especially if you have an outdoor party like at a park. Make sure that like none of the napkins are flying away. Make sure that you don't leave any trash for the wildlife to consume or humans to. It's just ugly for humans too. Make sure that they are secured if it's a windy day. Don't do stuff like confetti and glitter and wasteful stuff like that outside. And if you do, please clean up after yourself. Especially things like water balloons fights. I see water balloons on the ground all the time working in the park and it makes me so sad. All right, let's talk food and serving. Instead of buying a bunch of packaged foods, try to make as much as you can if possible. I know not everybody has the time or capacity to do that, but if you can, try your best. Finger foods, really easy ones. Fruit trays and veggie trays, super easy to do for lower zero waste. Making charcuterie boards and cookies are also very easy. You could even do like the cake yourself if you're really into that. This also means that you can control the flavors, colors, ingredients exactly how you or your child likes, which makes it a lot more enjoyable for everybody as well. I don't know about you, but I hate when someone surprises me with a cake. Hot take maybe, but then it's whipped cream icing. I hate whipped cream icing. I would rather someone make me a homemade cake. But better yet, you could also just make it a potluck party. This means that there's very little effort on your part, very little effort on anybody's part if everybody just brings one dish. I love potlucks. I'm so excited to go back to the Midwest. This is also lower waste especially if people, you know, make stuff themselves from home instead of everybody just bring like a bag of chips. Then everybody can also feel involved. This can also be like part of the experience for everybody. And a bonus gift that you can do, I mean, maybe this is like for me and the other adults, you can swap recipes as part of the party. If you want more stuff like, you know, you want like a bowl of pretzels, a bowl of like trail mix and stuff like that without the packaging, check your local bulk store if you have one. If not, just buy in bulk. Buy the largest bag of pretzels you can find instead of like small individual bags of pretzels. This is great for things like finger food, snacky food, like appetizer type stuff. And of course, this reduces how much packaging we're going to be throwing away because a lot of this packaging is not recyclable. Next is to use reusable utensils and or napkins. What we did when we lived in Okinawa, we were like the only one of our friends that lived in a house and not the dorms, so we hosted a lot. What I did was I went to the thrift store and got like 10 or 12 plates for like a quarter each, and then everybody had a reusable plate instead of using disposables every time we hosted. You can thrift reusable plates and utensils and stuff. Very, very cheap. Alternatively, I've said this before and people got so mad about it, you can ask your guests to bring their own plate. I'm not saying you have to, but like if you, like me, if I invited all my eco friends to a party and I said, hey, bring your own plate, they would be like, chill, that's awesome. But if you invited like all your wasteful relatives, like older people who might not understand waste, they're probably going to be a little bit weirded out, maybe even offended that you asked that. Know your audience, but just know that that is an option. But if you're having a bigger get together or you don't have enough reusables, opt for bioplastics instead of plastic. My favorite brand is Repurpose. Especially something like a family gathering or a graduation party, something that you might need like hundreds of plates for. Bioplastics are the way to go. They're not a perfect option, but they are significantly better. They are less pollutive to create, even if you don't have compost. But a bonus, if you have curbside composting, then you can actually compost all this stuff and prevent it from the landfill. Something particularly for kids is you can try using a juice dispenser instead of juice boxes. I see these all the time at the thrift store too. Big old pitchers with a little spigot on it for like lemonade, juice, sweet tea, water. This is great for all types of parties, but particularly kids where you're going to be using stuff like juice boxes. I guess a bonus tip here is if you're using stuff like red Solo cups, ask your guests to write their name on it so that they can reuse that same cup throughout the entire party instead of using cup after cup after cup. But also, extra bonus tip, Solo Cup does make an aluminum cup now that can be dishwasher rinsed, meaning you can reuse these cups over and over again for your parties. If you do need to use a plastic cup though, opt for a plastic 1 or 2. Those are the most commonly recycled types of plastics. Red Solo cups are plastic number 5, meaning they are very difficult to recycle. If you have leftovers, eat them or send them home with guests. What a great party favor. Leftover cake and pie and, I don't know, buffalo chicken dip. I need some buffalo chicken dip. Unless you think you and your family can eat it all, send it home with your guests as well in reusable containers. Bringing it back to the drinks, if you don't want to do the drink dispenser option, just opt for drinks in recyclable materials like water bottles, soda cans, glass bottles, etc. Those are much better than things that are hard to recycle like juice pouches, juice boxes, things like that. Since you're hosting, you can encourage your guests to recycle and compost and also just make it really easy for them. Have very clearly labeled recycle bin, very clearly labeled trash can, compost bin with like the items that can be put in each bin. Kind of dummy proof it so that way they're not recycling incorrectly in your home and then making you sort through the recycling later. But of course, the less we send to the landfill, the better. So you can encourage your guests to do this. All right, our last category is gifts. This might be taboo, at least it was when I was a kid, and that is to thrift or re-gift items. If your child has a specific gift in mind, like your child wants an iPad, look for it secondhand first. Dan and I just celebrated our dating anniversary. We both found each other a gift that we both been really wanting, but we both found it secondhand. It's very funny how drastic the gifts are. Dan's been wanting Crocs. So I got him Crocs secondhand, and I've been wanting a film camera, so he got me a film camera secondhand. Both got exactly what we wanted with less waste involved. But also some things that I've re-gifted Dan books before. Clothing or unopened gifts can be great re-gifted items and still look brand new. If you do buy new gifts, aim for less packaging. Like if you're trying to buy a toy for your child or grandchild, pick something that's like in a cardboard box or something that's in recyclable plastic packaging or something that's just the least amount of packaging, because sometimes it's like a plastic bag inside of a plastic container inside of a cardboard box, and that's just excessive. So try to avoid that when you can. If you want to do party favors, try to think of something that's more eco-friendly and not just dollar store junk that kids might enjoy for 5 minutes but are ultimately going to end up in the landfill. Useful items could be things like snacks, books, coloring books, but also you just don't have to give party favors if you don't want to. I'm not sure how popular it is anymore. I've never, I got party favors a couple times when I was a kid, but like even then it still wasn't very big, so just don't do them if you don't want to do them. Save yourself some money. When you're wrapping gifts, wrap your gifts in an eco-friendly way. You can check out my full video on eco gift wrapping that I did for Christmas a couple years ago up here. But in short, opt for paper wrapping that is 100% recyclable. Some wrapping paper contains plastic and can't be recycled. You can avoid things like ribbons and bows because those are not recyclable or reusable. You can use things like a reusable gift bag, which is, it's just what it sounds like this. Like this is a reusable gift bag. It's just a canvas tote. Is it canvas? Whatever. Linen, it's a linen tote. This also just doubles as a gift if the person doesn't want to reuse it. Also, you can just reuse disposable gift wrapping. You can reuse wrapping paper. You can reuse gift bags. Shout out to my mom again for reusing gift bag. Next is to tell your guests exactly what you want or exactly what your child wants to avoid any unwanted gifts. If you are gifting something for someone, include the receipt just in case they do want to return it, so that way it doesn't end up in the landfill. Now, you don't have to tell your friends like, I want an iPad. You can say, I want an iPad, I want a Switch, I want some yarn to crochet with, I want a new blender. These are very adult gifts. I want a stand mixer, I want a compost bin. That way they have 6 items to choose from, instead of just saying, I want a compost bin. That way it's still a surprise for everybody involved. You could also make like a wish list, an Amazon wish list, and then tell your guests to look secondhand or on eco-friendly websites. But you can use that wish list to give guests inspiration on stuff that you would actually enjoy or your child would actually enjoy, instead of stuff ending up unwanted. But also you can just go giftless this year or gift experience gifts. Like I already said, experience gifts are so much fun. I literally still remember them to this day. Other great gifts that are not wasteful are gift cards, money, checks, or experience gifts such as a sports lesson, a music lesson, a baking class, skydiving, going to an amusement park, whatever the receiver would ultimately enjoy. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your time and I hope that you learned something, and now you can throw an eco-friendly party. Let me know your other eco party tips down below, and I think this video comes at a good time because Thanksgiving is next week, Christmas is in a couple weeks, New Year's is the week after that. It's party season, so you can use these tips not just for birthday parties, but for parties all year long. So save this video, come back to it, and if you want to wish me a happy birthday, you can do that by making sure that your parties are also eco-friendly. Reduce 1 piece of waste for me today. Do that in my honor. I don't want anything except for less waste. I want government action on climate change. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate your time. I will see you next week. Next week is it. It's time for my 2023 gift guide. It's finally Christmas season. Let's get into the spirit. Let's whip out the sweater. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you'll see it next week. I'll see you then though, but until then, remember that your small actions make a big difference in the long run. Bye guys. Why did I hit record? I'm so tired. For the first time, I think I'm losing my voice. Bye guys. Done. If you have cute signs, cute baskets, cute signs, I already said signs. Make sure after your party you forget, you remember. You can avoid things like ribbons and bows. I'm literally losing my voice. You can avoid things like ribbons and bows. I'll just skip the bows. Oh, maybe bows?